Let me give you what I've written here. Motivation is knowing the motive, because in the 19th century, this is when the term motivation came about. It was engendered in the 19th century. But I want you to understand, Hori, if you don't do a themological deduction to concepts, you will never correctly appropriate the concept. So if you don't do a study on the word motivation, you will misappropriate the word motivation. Sometimes you will say, we want motivation, when it's not motivation that you need, it's coaching. Because you don't understand the difference between motivation and coaching. Sometimes you can say we need motivation, when you don't need motivation, you need mentoring. You get my point? There's a difference between these. So when we deal with motivation, we need to extract and deduct its original meaning and give it our context. I want you to get me there because we're gonna go to the other ends. And when you leave here, as the program director said, you are going to release the same energy that you have inculcated from this place onto other people who are not here in this place. Are we going to do that?
Yes.
So it's knowing the motive that must propel you to do something beyond the ordinary. The motive that must propel you to do beyond the ordinary. The energy informed by motive can get you to do beyond what you normally can. So without motivation, what can you do? That's the question. The things that you can do without motivation, when there is motivation as an add-on, you do better than the things that you normally would have done. So some of us, we think our potential, when we rate our potential, we are level 7. I'm a level 7 potent person. But it's because there's no motivation. Until there is motivation, you'll realize you're not actually a 7, you are actually a 9. So let's give an example. Who's the biggest person in the room? Bigger than me. Who's the biggest person in the room? For half,
half. In terms of age, in terms
no, biggest person, physical. Not eldest person, biggest. Where is the guy? He left. So without him, Ima. Are you sure? Let me use you as an example, leadership. Please come on stage. So exactly. So when you write a will over you, this shirt belongs to me. Now I want the thinnest person in the room. The thinnest person here, I think I'll vote one. Please come and join me. I want you to stand and take your seat. Between the two brothers here, if we are in a race, and we blow the whistle, we say run. Who's going to surpass the other?
the thinner one.
The thinner one will surpass him. Okay, that's under normal circumstances. Right? If a lion can come into this room now and we say to them, let them run both of them. Do you know who this one may surpass this one?
Yes.
Why? Because his life is at stake. He's facing the pressure of being pursued by a lion. So under normal circumstances, we know the right-hand guy will overtake him even if he's 100 meters away. But wait until the lion is chasing him to eat him up. The speed at which he runs when the lion is chasing him, it's his real speed, not the normal speed.
Again?
It's his real speed, not the normal speed. In the normal speed, he can surpass him. When his life is at stake, the speed at which he runs, it's his real speed, not the normal speed. So what people know about you, it's not really you. There is a motivation that must propel you to tap into the real you. And when you have tapped into the real you, people change their definitions and perspectives about you. So those who thought you can't run, when they see you running and surpassing him, now they change their perception about you. Now they say, hey, that guy, we used to undermine him, but hey, don't undermine him. It's something else. That's why there are people who know about you and there are people who know you. Thank you so much. You can be seated. There are people who know about you and there are people who know you. So if you repel and rebuff motivation, this is what happens. You are selling a version of yourself to the world, which is not the real version of yourself. So people will define you and confine you in the definition of you. Whoever defines you can limit you in the definition they have about you. Huh? But there are people who will come and say, no, what you are saying about Samuel Baloyi, you guys don't know that guy. Language class. These are the people who have experienced the other side of Samuel Baloyi, which the normal people have not experienced. So why, ask the person next to you, Oro, why are you denying us an opportunity to know you? Because what we know about you, it's not who you really are. There is more to what we know about you. The challenge is that some of you may be dealing with demotivation. Some of you may be dealing with demoralization. And what we don't realize is that on daily basis, you know when you take the right step and the left step, motivation is here. For you to wake up this morning and take a bath, you needed motivation. When there's dirty dishes in the sink in your kitchen, for you to rise up from your couch and go to the kitchen and wash them, what do you need? Motivation. You need a motivation. Hey, you are looking at me like you don't do these things. It's like you've just fallen from heaven today at 12:12. So anything that we do in our lives, once we lose it, what happens? We are limiting ourselves in doing what we are supposed to do. So most of us potential, or all of us potential, but what limits our potential is the demoralization that we've allowed, is the demotivation that we've allowed, is the loss of energy that we've allowed, is the loss of the pursuit of our assignments that we've allowed. There's nobody who will impose demotivation on you. There's nobody who can impose demoralization on you. No matter the situation and the circumstance, you still are the one who choose whether you still go with motivation or you divorce motivation and live as a demoralized person. You may be educated, but your education will not be visible without motivation. Now go to class. So okay, but I will really issue your motivation today. Re-understand. And when you walk out of here and we don't see motivation, we're gonna lay hands on you and pray for you. You've got a problem. Because everyone, when we walk out of here, motivation must be reflected in us. Because now we understand how important motivation is. The difference between a person who sets an alarm to wake up in the morning and go to work and the person who wakes up automatically and naturally and goes to work, the element of motivation. The other one doesn't have motivation, that's why they rely on the alarm to wake them up. The one with the motivation, the body, the system catches the rhythm. When you wake up in the morning, it's automatic. Or at this point in time, I take a bath, I go and work, while you are motivated to do what you are doing. Are you following what I'm saying? Yes. Right, let's talk about levels of motivation. 3 levels of motivation. We have now understood what motivation is energy again. Now, if you don't have Rotman, what's your name? Dante Ishmael. If you don't have the energy that I'm giving you today, between you and I, there will not be a synergy.
Sure.
Huh? And that's the challenge that we are having in our institutions. There are those with the right energy and they are giving it to the atmosphere. And there are others who don't have the same energy that others are giving. Therefore, there is no synergy. Because synergy is a combination of energies. If we are going to win as a team, everyone must bring their energy onto the table. There is no one who must be used by the other. Hello, class. There is no one who must do the work of the other. All of us must bring our individual energies to the table and form a synergy. When we form a synergy, we will build up a eulogy. Eulogy means legacy. Something that we're going to leave behind as a team. Or after we have passed on to this world, even the community will say, in 2024, there was a team in this school that was not lazing around, that was not lethargic, that was highly productive. And they will compare you with your team members, with the rest of the people that will be working at the time you were born. We can't leave a eulogy or a legacy without a synergy and individual energies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Ask the person next to you, do you have energy?
Yes.
So the first level of motivation, is self-motivation. No matter the things I can say today with whichever amount of anointing, knowledge, expertise, and understanding, if you lack self-motivation, my seeds will be falling on hard ground. My seeds will be falling on thorny grounds. But if you have self-motivation, I don't start from fresh. I build on top of the foundation that is already there. So the people who retire before retirement, they have self-motivation. Already, the only thing that's keeping you there is paycheck to paycheck every month. And no matter your age, I'm not talking of retirement by age. I'm talking of retirement by apostasy. Seceding and withdrawal from the mandate intentionally so. There are people who are still educators by title. By function, you are not an educator. Because you have withdrawn from your mandate as an educator. Your body is here. Your spirit, your emotion, and your mind is in the past. And that's why the only thing you can tell us are things of the past. You can tell us how long you have been in education. And that doesn't matter, Chief. Rebata productivity. We don't want longevity. Hello, class. Hello. The only thing you'll tell us, Gore, before the toilet, it said, I was here. There was only a pit here. How to amo le hona le kati engwe en sumo le dula mo ka 1970. We don't want to hear those stories. We want productivity. Hello, class. Because if you are using entitlement as a weapon, hello, class, to attack others, you are actually telling us you have ceased from performing, and that's why you are using longevity and entitlement as a weapon. But if you are performing, there's no need for you to tell me how long you are here. Or this person has been long here. They know their story. Hello, class. So you can't be a person who is long in the institution, but you are the one influencing others to hate on others. Your stories, when you bring them, is to cause a division amongst team members. Is to tell this one, or when you were not here, I was here. You see this one. 1, 2, 3. Why don't you allow people to experience for themselves what you are telling them? Because if you influence them to hate on the people you hate, you are a devil yourself. Because a devil has got to give birth after the kind of what he is hosting. The devil can give you the Holy Spirit, he will give you evil spirits. So the fruits you are giving us, they tell us your makeup. That's why Allah will not come because in the prophecy. Levels of motivation. Number one is self-motivation. We all get tired. We all get tired. You can't use fatigue as an excuse every day. Or we're not hearted, that's why you are not productive. We all get tired. It's like people who are very bitter. When they are angry, they want to prove to everybody that they are angry that day. As if other people can be angry. Are you getting my point? All of us have got a potential to be angry, maybe 10 times worse than you. But we control ourselves because of maturity and protecting our reputation. So we don't come down to your level, not because we are afraid of you. We are afraid of the mud you are operating from. We are too clean for your mud. So if we come down to your level, we are going to make ourselves dirty like you and lose our dignity in the process. So we are protecting our dignity. We are not afraid of you. Halala. So there are people who will tell you that they are confrontational or protect a weakness as if it's a strength. You even make it public. Happen like in a short term. You press me, you press the wrong button. I deal with you now. And you think that is a strength. The way you are so proud of it. You are making it public like it's a strength. And it's a weakness. And what you don't realize is that there are people who are looking up to you. As soon as they see that other side in you, they stop looking up to you. They look up to the person next door. Because there's no more a well of wisdom to drink from. Where? So you are leaving those who are looking up to you thirsty forever. Halala. You halala ran out of a time, guys. Self-motivation. Self-motivation means even if the environment does not allow for positivity, I will not be negative. I'm not going down to the mud. I remain positive. It's a situation, but I cannot change myself because of a situation. I rather change the situation because of who I am. It's very painful, Ori, for a period as a good person. One incident takes away the goodness of 10 years. Because you allowed demotivation, demoralization, negativity to take control of you. One incident. So you can work on your reputation for 20 years and lose it in 2 minutes. So be self-motivated. When I motivate you, I must do it on top of self-motivation. So Rona, as the professional speakers and godly speakers, we can tell when an audience is not receiving from us. Because as I speak, I'm releasing energy. That's why I get some more, I'll be done, I'll be finished, I'll be so tired, guess about anything. Because I'm releasing what? Energy. And if my audience does not have energy, I'm wasting my energy. But if my audience already has the basis and the substratum of self-motivation, I'm pouring onto something that is not empty. Or I'm just refilling what already has substance. Just I'm telling you, don't undermine me about substance. Yeah, substance. There are things I can teach you. And that's why, guys, whilst at it, never undermine human being. Never. Never judge human being. Just because you're not a Uno, we're not a Q7. Never ever do that, because you never know what God can do with that person tomorrow. That might be a person whose office you need to go and consult with. I'm telling you the honest truth. Let me give you a practical example, and I've given it before. When I was in high school, break and then I close. When I was in high school, I used to carry my Bible. Nina is solo tape all over. Mind you, high school in Soweto in the township. There are guys who used to mock at me. Bambita pastor, not because they recognize God's gift in me, no. Bambita pastor to mock me. Because who carries a Bible in school, in high school, also Soweto, in a township? Because everybody think they are clever. And when you carry the Bible, you are the fool. Now, let me tell you the honest truth. 3 of the guys, I can give you their names because you don't know them. Walter Prince and Spiwe. The guys who were mocking me because they were clever in high school. I have hired them in my company and paid their salary, and I reminded them. The other one was driving me to a session in Gauteng, and I said, hey, Mara Chief, you remember you used to mock me and call me pastor, not because you respected me. Today you are driving me to a session, and I'm going to pay you for driving. How nice is that? Why? You cannot undermine the thing called a human being. Because God has a plan for each one of us. That's why I'm here to tell you never to give up because of the challenges you are facing. The purpose that you are pursuing is bigger than the challenges you are facing. The challenges can never match the purpose. I can sit down. I can sit down. Write it down. The challenges can never match the purpose. So don't replace consciousness with the challenges. Yeah? One minus a purpose. Yeah. Challenges can never match the purpose. So you don't give up because of challenges. You keep pushing because of purpose. Hello, class. Tshwantse o ye o khutlele sekolong o jwetse kaofela ba ne ba o demoralize. My purpose is bigger than your demoralization. I cannot give up because of what you are doing to me. I'm going to pursue because I have a purpose bigger than the challenge. Self-motivation. These are the things you tell yourself because you are self-motivated. Hello, class. Hello. Tell yourself, as an individual, I'm going to be celebrated nationally. Not only in the village where I'm operating from. The Minister of Basic Education will know about me because I'm not ordinary, I'm extraordinary. Self-motivation makes you to tell yourself these things. And if it's not self-motivation, you can wear expensive clothes. They will look cheap on you. Because the person wearing expensive clothes lacks motivation. So we don't even detect and sense the value of the clothes that you are wearing. Because of the energy that you are disseminating. Then self-motivated, wear cheap clothes. But when they enter the room, everything changes. Because the energy they breathe is a positive energy. Don't be the kind of a performer who goes into the staff room, and everybody wants to run away because they know the energy that's coming is negative. Be the kind of a performer, how can a staff room, everybody wants to sit next to you. Because they know what kind of positive energy from self-motivation. The energy you come with in the morning, live